When you pick up an unknown rock in the field, you're not just holding a piece of stone, you're holding a puzzle. What type of rock is it? How old is it? What processes shaped it? In the field, you don't have a lab, microscopes, or advanced tools. So how do geologists identify rocks with nothing more than their eyes, hands, and a few simple tests? Today, we'll break down the exact steps experts use to quickly and confidently identify rocks right where they're found. How do you identify rocks in the field? 1. Introduction. Why it matters. Understanding how to identify unknown rocks in the field is one of the foundational skills in geology. Every rock carries a unique record of Earth's processes: eruptions, sediment deposition, mountain building, metamorphism, and erosion. When you look at a rock, you are essentially looking at a time capsule that preserves millions or even billions of years of Earth's history. Accurate field identification matters because geology rarely provides second chances. When you are out in the field, whether during mapping, exploration, or academic research, you need fast, reliable methods to understand what you're looking at. Laboratory work can confirm details later, but first impressions in the field determine where you take samples, what features you document, and how you interpret the broader geological landscape. Being able to classify rocks on site allows you to build immediate geological context. Is this area shaped by ancient volcanoes? Was it once underwater? Has this region experienced intense tectonic pressure? The answers begin with the rock in your hand. Field identification, therefore, is not simply about naming a rock, it's about reading the Earth. 2. Observation. The first step in identifying any rock is careful, deliberate observation. Before performing tests or breaking the sample open, start by examining its appearance. Color is often the first feature you notice, but you should treat it cautiously. Many minerals share similar colors, and weathering can drastically change a rock's surface tone compared to its fresh interior. However, color variations, patterns, or distinct patches can still offer important clues. Texture is far more reliable. The size, shape, and arrangement of mineral grains tell you how the rock formed. Fine-grained or glassy textures typically point to rapid cooling in igneous rocks. Coarse-grained textures suggest slow crystallization deep underground. Clastic textures, where visible fragments are cemented together, indicate sedimentary origins. Interlocking or aligned crystals often belong to metamorphic rocks, shaped under pressure and heat. Luster, or how the surface reflects light, helps identify whether minerals inside the rock are metallic, glassy, pearly, or dull. This simple observation can separate metallic or minerals from non-metallic ones at a glance. Structure and layering are essential. Sedimentary rocks may have clear, horizontal layers. Metamorphic rocks often show foliation or banding due to intense pressure. Igneous rocks might display vesicles, flow structures, or crystalline intergrowths. These structural clues are often the strongest indicators of a rock's origin and history. 3. Hardness test, Mohs scale. After visual observations, the hardness test is one of the most practical tools you can use in the field. The Mohs hardness scale ranks minerals from 1, talc, to 10, diamond, and simple scratch tests allow you to estimate a rock's approximate hardness. Using a fingernail, copper coin, steel knife, or glass plate, you can determine whether the rock is soft enough to be scratched or hard enough to scratch other materials. If a rock can scratch glass, it likely contains quartz or other high-hardness minerals. If it scratches easily with a fingernail, the rock includes softer minerals such as gypsum. This test narrows down possibilities quickly. For example, a soft, chalky rock with strong acid reaction is likely limestone. A hard, crystalline rock that scratches glass may be quartzite or granite. A metallic-looking rock that easily scratches metal tools could contain sulfide minerals like pyrite. In many cases, hardness provides the deciding factor between two visually similar rocks. 4. Acid test. The acid test is a classic geologic tool used to detect carbonate minerals, especially calcite. By placing a drop of dilute hydrochloric acid, or even common vinegar, on the rock's surface, you can observe whether it fizzes or reacts. A strong fizzing reaction indicates a limestone or calcite-rich rock. A weak reaction on the surface but a stronger reaction on a fresh break suggests a dolomite or mixed carbonate rock. Marble, a metamorphic rock, also reacts due to its calcite content, though sometimes more subtly. This test is extremely useful because many carbonate rocks may appear visually similar to sandstones or quartzites due to weathering. Instead of relying on color or texture alone, the acid test gives a direct chemical clue about mineral composition. 5. Magnetic properties. Some rocks contain minerals with magnetic properties, which can be detected with a small field magnet. Magnetite, one of the most common magnetic minerals, often appears in igneous and metamorphic rocks. Even a slight magnetic attraction can suggest the presence of iron-rich minerals. Magnetic properties may also indicate specific geological processes. For example, magnetite-rich rocks often form in environments with high temperatures, such as mafic intrusions or metamorphic zones. A magnetic reaction may also point toward valuable ore deposits, making this test useful not only in geology but in mineral exploration as well. 6. Identification and classification. Once you have gathered observations and test results, you can classify the rock into one of the three major groups. Igneous rocks. These form from cooled magma or lava. Key identifiers include crystal size, presence of vesicles, glassy textures, or interlocking grains. Coarse-grained examples include granite and diorite, while fine-grained rocks include basalt and andesite. Sedimentary rocks. These form from sediment accumulation or chemical precipitation. Look for layering, fossils, clastic grains, or soft textures. Common examples are sandstone, shale, and limestone. Metamorphic rocks. These result from heat and pressure altering existing rock. Foliation, banding, and recrystallized minerals are typical features. Examples include schist, gneiss, quartzite, and marble. By combining all clues, color, texture, hardness, reaction, and structure, you can form a reliable conclusion about the rock's identity and its geological background. ND. 7. Tools and equipment. Carrying the right tools makes identification far easier. A geology hammer allows you to break rocks and observe fresh surfaces. A hand lens, usually 10 times magnification, helps inspect mineral grains closely. A field notebook and geological map allow you to record details, sketch formations, and document your findings. A small magnet, acid bottle, and compass round out a basic but effective field kit. These simple tools significantly increase accuracy and confidence when identifying rocks. Tours. 8. Additional tips. Beyond the rock itself, the environment provides valuable clues. Consider the landscape, nearby formations, and the overall geological setting. For example, if you are in a river channel, rounded sedimentary rocks are expected. In a volcanic region, basalt or volcanic ash deposits become more likely. Pay attention to weathering patterns. Some rocks break easily into thin layers, while others fracture irregularly. Estimating density by how heavy the rock feels in your hand can also help. Dense rocks often contain metallic minerals or mafic components. The key is to think of each observation as a piece of a larger puzzle. 9. Field notes and sample collection. Good documentation is just as important as identification. Each sample should be labeled with location, date, and observations. Photographs of the rock in its original context, along with GPS coordinates, provide valuable information for later analysis. Clear and organized notes make your fieldwork useful long after you leave the site. 10. Conclusion and recommendations. Identifying rocks in the field is a skill that improves with practice. With experience, patterns become easier to recognize, and your interpretations become more accurate and efficient. These fundamental techniques, observation, hardness tests, acid reactions, and structural analysis, form the foundation of geological fieldwork. From here, you can explore more advanced tools such as thin-section petrography, mineral analysis, and geochemical testing. But it all begins with what you can observe and understand directly in the field.